What do you think of this over in England, the human resources?
No, I don't know anything about it.
So some human resources departments now, and it's becoming adopted as a widespread policy. They are advising that companies put rules in place that ensure no physical contact in order to avoid sexual harassment claims. That means no shaking hands, no tap on the back.
I'm okay with this.
I kind of am too.
Because, and it's ever since you had kids and they went and started going to places where other kids are and they bring germs home, and you went for a period of time there where you were sick. Like every other week you were sick, and every other week I was afraid I was going to get sick. And so I'm going through tubs of hand sanitizer over here. And now it's changed the way I think. So now I don't want to touch anybody. I don't want anybody touching me.
You're saying
I don't want to touch public things. I've become a germaphobe.
Even though that has nothing to do with the reason why they are actually banning handshakes in the workplace.
Why else would you ban them?
Because handshakes can be misconstrued as an unwanted sexual advancement.
Oh, is that because of the finger scratch? You know the finger scratch trick?
No, I don't.
You go to shake somebody's hand, you take your middle finger, and you tickle the inside of their palm.
Okay. See, that would be considered.
Well, that'll get them off on their toes.
If that's something that's happening, I've never had that happen to me. If that's something that's happening, I understand why.
Our buddy Jeff Packer used to do that all the time.
Human Resources Department. Oh, yeah, he did.
That's where I learned it from.
Okay, well, that's dumb. That's sexual harassment.
But I don't do that with people I work with. I only do that to people that are guests of the radio station.
So we're asking you if you avoid contact with people due to the current climate of society at the workplace. I mean, I've gotten to the point where, I love the best thing for me, being the introvert that I am, is this staunch, no tolerance policy that places are starting to adopt, like no handshaking, limit the handshaking in the workplace, because this means I don't even have to make eye contact with people. Like, seriously, like, people, I could just say,
hey, we'll get to the point.
I can act like they don't even exist. And the people are like, man, why do you always act like so-and-so doesn't exist? I'm like, because I don't want to be busted for unwanted sexual advances.
Guadalupe Dan writes in, he says, hey, the Japanese bow. They don't, you know what I mean? Maybe we should start, we don't have to do the bow because we don't want to act like, we don't want to be the ones that stole something from someone else.
I'll take Japanese. I'll take the bow.
What if it's just a little nod? But instead of down, you go up. You know, one of those. What's up?
I do the nod.
Hey, what's up?
I do the nod, and it's people have complained about the nod.
Does it make them feel sexually uncomfortable?
No, not that. It's just that it's not enough.
Well, you don't want to get sexually harassment charged.
I'm like, hey, and I'm really bad at remembering names too, so that's why I do the nod as well. I'm like, hey, you, what's up? Oh yeah, hey.
We got some people that wrote in some of the stuff they've had to deal with, and Ashley just wrote in that she had a friend that said they couldn't. She said my coworker was talking about their last job that you couldn't even compliment somebody on anything.
Yeah, that's the point I've reached. Like I'll see somebody like they look nice today or something like that, and I've years removed from this because of the current climate and the direction it's going in. I would say, hey, you look nice today. I'm not saying anybody looks nice.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they look like crap. I'm not saying anything. It's all business, because why would you want to get accused?
We had
of
that girl here that filed those charges against me because she was wearing those jeans, and I was like, damn, girl, you look good in them jeans. Apparently, you can't compliment people anymore. She took it too far.
The other day, you said to somebody, hey, what is it, Casual Friday? And you were saying that they didn't look as good as they normally do.
Well, she was wearing the yoga pants and a baggy T-shirt, and she works up front. Yes, and she got mad.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I thought we had that kind of relationship where I could joke.
Don't assume. Don't assume that. In today's society, in today's culture, you can't assume that.
Use the discount code MACMonday at themacandcheesefest.com. You'll save $10 on every ticket you purchase to the Macaroni and Cheese Festival. With the Cheese Balls performing live from San Francisco, they're coming down. Great 80s cover band. And then, the champion, here he is, Greg Wongard. Will be there again this year. He's going to make us some mac and cheese here in a little bit. He's been making the rounds here this morning. But we're talking about physical contact in the workplace right now. And I think your job is interesting because you work with, a staff and faculty, but you also work with students. So I'm sure you probably have a more stiff policy. I'm just using the wrong words. I'm sure you have a stricter policy than what we have here at the radio station, which I don't even know if we have a policy, Jeff. Do we?
We should have a no touching policy.
Jeff doesn't even like to make eye contact, Greg. By the way,
you have to be really, really careful.
I can imagine.
I mean, you pretty much, I would just probably just not touching a student or doing that. I mean, pretty much knuckles and high fives.
What about when kids want to come up and hug you? I know that I remember in high school, girls especially would want to hug the guy teachers all the time. They love hugging.
I don't think I've ever been hugged by a guy or a girl.
Good.
It's a great answer.
And there's kids there the other day. I think when they come towards you or they want to say thank you, you just be like, yeah, high five or knuckles. Try to dodge it. Yeah.
Have you ever?
It's just trouble. I mean, I don't know really what to. It's just you don't know how someone is going to interpret that.
I know,
of course, yeah.
And you got to be really careful.
The reason why we started talking about this is there's some human resources firms and some big corporations over in England have now eliminated handshaking in the office place because they say that handshaking can be misconstrued. It can be misconstrued, and let's just limit our losses altogether and institute a no touching policy.
That sounds like something like Elizabeth Warren would do.
Like what? That she would
no handshake.
Yeah, it's funny. Adam writes in. He goes, "What kind of psycho wants to touch people at their workplace?" Well, isn't that what got?
I mean, a handshake is a handshake. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I know, but now, I mean, people.
Hey, listen, the hug, the half hug.
What did Joe Biden get accused of? He was smelling somebody's hair.
I don't know.
Oh no, he was like grabbing people like on the shoulders or around there, or
like doing the shoulder rub
behind him, and like thank you, or like he's. I don't know. I saw a thing on the internet that said, "What is his slogan for his 2020 campaign?" And it was, "I'm feeling you."
See, that's funny. We should all be able to laugh at that.
He should totally take the ball and run with it, though. He won't, because he's a politician.
Around here, guys like to hug other guys. And I guess, that's not where I grew up, but I've, with my other show, the wine show, a lot of people in that industry, they're very touchy-feely people. And they like to come in for the hug.
Because they're always drunk?
And so you put your hand out to shake their hand, and next thing you know, they pull you in, and then they're drunk. That's it.
Well, yeah,
like, sorry, I thought you were a girl.
That does seem true, though. That when guys have a couple of cocktails, they're more likely
to start hugging guys,
their friend, or say goodbye or whatever, rather than just like a handshake or something.
I hate hugging. I hate hugging people that like.
I think with your friends and family, it's okay.
Yeah, my family.
Definitely in a workplace or public. I mean, you really have to be careful because you just don't know how they're going to take it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Or you'll get Joe Biden.
Yeah.
You'll get Biden. Just feel me, bro.
Happens.
Mike brings up a very good point. He's like, it shouldn't matter because you can sexually harass somebody without touching them.
Oh, that's true.
But
with your eyes? That's why you don't want to make eye contact with anybody, Jeff.
I guess maybe with your eyes, but with your words, or I guess your actions.
Somebody comes to shake your hands, you just move your eyes up and down? Like you're shaking your hands? I'm sorry, I'm just shaking my hands.
Sorry.
Shaking your hands with my eyes. That's how I do it. Tammy writes in, she says she's uncomfortable hugging in the workplace. This is a woman?
I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are uncomfortable hugging.
A hug. What's it like with the students, between the student policy now, like with students hugging other students? Is that limited now as well? Or
you know what? I really don't know. I mean, I think that if it's wanted and they're friends, or they're like, what if somebody's sad or somebody's going through a hard time and they give a hug? I mean,
because you don't want to be.
That's what I was just saying to Jeff. I was like, sometimes people need a hug.
Oh yeah, but I think that if a student had a problem with it, the student would come and make the teacher or the person in charge aware, and then you would have to make that other student aware that their actions are unwelcome towards that other student.
Oh, we're getting a very official answer right now.
I don't think that.
But you have to.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that you could really, if you saw something, you couldn't say, hey, you know what, no hugging.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think that, it'd be up to the individuals, especially because you have a lot of boyfriends and girlfriends, and
right.
Even at culinary, there's, couples that are there and they'll, give each other a hug, or
I don't think I could work in it.
Hold their hand or something like that.
I could never work in a school.
Yeah, I don't think I could either. Too many rules and too many things you have to be aware of.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.